Hi guys, it's Modesty. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 highlighters. If you've been with me for a while, you guys know how obsessed I am with highlight. So doing this video, picking 5 was very hard. But I do feel like I needed to do this video because I do talk about highlight all the time. I highlight the crap out of my face. I like to guide an airplane at night using my highlight. So I figured I'd be committing a crime if I didn't do a video like this because I talk about highlight all the time, so I need to show you my favorite highlighters, you know what I mean? Oh, by the way, some are Drugstore and then some are Highend, and I do have a dupe, maybe 2. So yeah, just keep on watching if you want to see my top 5 highlighters. So the first highlighter that I want to share with you is Nars Albatross. This is technically a blush highlight or a highlighting blush, something like that, but it's a highlighter, okay? Nars Albatross. This, when you open it up, it looks white, but when you swatch it, it's more of like a yellow to gold highlight. So let me swatch it for you. There it is right there. So as you can see, it just sends off like a very pretty yellow diamondish glow, and it's super gorgeous. This is probably my favorite highlighter of all time. It's really buttery, really smooth. It's so finely milled and it just glides on the face and it gives the most perfect sheen. Sometimes I'll amp it up by using MAC Fix Plus, but I think it's super pretty and super intense all on its own. And I do have a dupe for it because this is $30. This is by the Ulta brand, and this is Illuminating Powder in the shade Yellow Diamond. It looks like this, and as you can see when you open it up, it has that same look to it. Like, it looks white, but then when you swatch it, and it has almost the same texture too. When you swatch it, look, they are identical. The Yellow Diamond from Ulta probably has like a hair more yellow, but the only reason I noticed that is because I literally use these all the time, so I know them like the back of my hand. So, but anyone just passing by would not know the difference. So yeah, this is a dupe for the Nars Albatross, and this is $9. I will have a link down to both down below in the description box. So if you are interested in the Nars Albatross, but you don't want to spend the $30, just go ahead and get the Ulta Yellow Diamond. It's like the exact same thing. So that is my first highlight. Alright, so the next one I want to share is a Drugstore one, and this is Warm Nude by Physicians Formula. I don't know if this like shimmer strips, shimmer brick, multi-use thing. All I know is I use it as highlights. And this is a really good highlight because 1, it's super pigmented, and 2, you can basically get any highlight color that you want with this. So if you could focus more down here if you want a more champagne yellowy highlight like the ones I just showed you. But you can go over here and get more of like rosy highlight, or down here and get more of like a mid neutral like brownish champagne color, or over here and get more of like a bronzy highlight. You can literally get any highlight shade that you want. If you want pink, champagne, bronze, yellow, whatever you want, it's all in here. Or you can swirl it all together and get like the coolest shade ever. I usually just focus it down here because that is kind of the shade of highlight that I gravitate towards. Okay, so let me just swatch it for you the way that I normally use it. So look how intense that is. Is that not super gorgeous? And then I'll show you that you can get like more of a bronzy one also. Right there. So you can get it super intense. So I mean, even if you're a darker skin tone, you can use this and get a very natural looking highlight, because it can go anywhere from this all the way to this. And I'll show you can get more of a pinky one right there. So as you can see, you can literally get any highlight shade that you want. Anyway, so that was the Physicians Formula Warm Nude Shimmer something. I will look it up and I will have a link down below. This, I think it cost me like $12, which is really pricey for the drugstore, but as you can see, it's really pigmented and really good quality, and it's super versatile. Okay, so the next 2 are Becca highlighters. The first one I want to talk about is my favorite go-to summer highlight, which is of course Champagne Pop. It's a really pretty champagne gold color. It's super pretty, and I was really intimidated by it at first. Like, I was like, that is not gonna work for my skin tone. But then I saw it swatched on people who had like paler skin than me, and it looked super gorgeous. So I was like, oh, mine. So there it is right there. So pretty. So I mean, in the pan it looks super gold, like super just intense. But then when you swatch it, it actually looks really nice on pale skin tones. I'm actually using today, this is the highlight that I'm using, and I mixed a little bit of the Ulta Yellow Diamond with it. But yeah, so Champagne Pop is one of my go-tos for the summertime and the springtime. And then another Becca one, which is probably my favorite Becca one. This one is Opal, and it has more of like the cool tone to it. When I think of it, I think of the word shell. I don't know why. It has like a very shell color to it. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know why I think of that word. It just makes me think of the word shell. And this is the one that I've been using the most lately. Super pretty. This one is pretty good on basically all skin tones. Moonstone is technically built for my skin tone, but I can get away with this one because I do like an intense highlight. So I really do like this one. And I actually really want to try out the new one. I think it's called Pearl. So I think I'm gonna go pick that one up next. But yeah, so I really want to share with you Opal because everyone and their mother loves Opal. I love Opal. It's one of my tops. Love it. Okay, so I guess not technically a dupe, but it's a totally different texture. But when I look at it, I get like the same, it has like the same undertone in my opinion. Like when I feel like going more drugstore, I will use this one. And I'll replace it with Opal, or I'll replace Opal with this one when I want to do a more inexpensive look, because this highlight is $5. Oh, by the way, this is the Revolution Makeup Vivid Baked Highlighting Powder in Radiant Lights. And even though they aren't dupes for each other, they're pretty similar in like, see look, I mean, I guess. They're pretty similar in undertones, so I count it, in my eyes, I count it as a dupe just because when I put on my cheeks, it looks the same. You know what I'm saying? So let me swatch for you. Come on, lighting, work with me. Anyways, it looks the same to me, but yeah. This one, it's essentially a more dialed back version of Opal. Like it has the same tone, but it's lighter. And I think it's super pretty. This is one of my favorite highlighters, of course, because I'm showing it to you my top 5. But I count this as like my personal dupe for Opal because I get the same idea from it. So this one, once again, is Revolution Makeup Vivid Baked Highlighting Powder in Radiant Lights. And I will have a link to it down below. So that would count as like my second dupe, or singular, whatever you want to, go at it as. Anyway, so the last highlight that I want to share with you is technically inside a palette. It's technically in a contouring palette. And it is the Shimmer highlight in the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. I love this highlight, you guys. I'm actually a huge fan of the Shimmer highlights that are in contour palettes. I really, really like them. Like, look at that. It's super intense, and I really like to use it for brow bones and inner corner, tip of my nose, and I'm always mixing highlights. So the most common thing for me to do, other than what I've lately been doing with my e.l.f. Illuminating palette, the most common thing I do is the contour palette that I'm using that day. I will take the Shimmer highlight and I'll use that as my base highlight, and then I'll top it off with another highlight. So I had to mention this one because this is literally like my go-to Shimmer highlight in a contour palette. I love it to death. And I think it's super gorgeous. I really like the one that is in the Nars Guy Bourdain Cheek palette also. It is very similar to this, but that's limited edition and this isn't, so I thought I'd show you this one. Alright guys, so that is it for my top 5 highlighters. I know I showed you more than 5 products, but like I said, I had a couple of dupes and anyway. So yeah, let me know down below what your favorite highlighters are. I love trying out new highlighters, so leave them down below so I can go check those out. Also, if you're interested in any of these highlighters, I will have the links to them down below in the products mentioned section. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know what top 5s you want to see next. I've done the top 5 concealers, top 5 drugstore foundations, and top 5 highlighters. So let me know which one you want me to do next, and I will go get on that one. And yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.